Hello, and welcome to this latest reading, which is on all about the next positive person you will date. So this is a positive, it's not a negative person that you will date. It's a positive, like it's thing. So that's what my prompt was for this reading. So that is what I'm going to do. Pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Pile number 1, this pile says Grace. Pile number 2, that's kind of a brownish stone, quarry, rock cliff type thing. And pile number 2, it's a pink stone with a little blue. I put a little blue stone on top. So whatever you're drawn to, let's get started. I turn off the light. I'm gonna turn off the light. It's better to do that, and then let's get started. So 1, 2, 3, make sure the camera is rolling, and let's get started. Pile number 1. All right. Pile number 1, the first pile is called Grace. Let us see. What cards do we have for Grace? Death. The Chariot. So that's a very much a change in another direction. And then the 5 of Pentacles. Okay, so a change in different direction. That's interesting. So this could be you, this could be them. Sort of... I'm hearing that you're both with Grace. I wondered why I got that stone, but it's like you're both bringing very positive energy into your life. And interesting that this is called the next positive person you're going to date. And I keep on getting that your guys are bringing positive energy into your life with despair. Like you're not feeling despair. Your guys are basically becoming lord of your domain or something. That makes me think of that Seinfeld episode. But it also, well, maybe interesting that came up to my mind. Maybe you guys are both, this person could be cutting out really negative habits and trying to, almost like this person is becoming aware of the trajectory of their life and that they don't want falseness anymore. So it's kind of like this person, this positive person you date, they could be very much the one. They could be the one, but it's kind of more like this really signifies a positive change in your life. So lover, the word, that's positive. That's very positive. But waiting, it's like you've almost been waiting for this person, and then everything clicks into place. That's what I get with waiting, messenger, lover, and yeah. So it's like this positive person, and this person is very. I'm hearing something about this person. The next person, a positive person. This person may have had a lot of trigger warning, abusive experiences. But this does not mean that, like, I'm hearing that they may even have a father that's, like, this person may have had that kind of negative experience or backstabbing family members. But this is a, this is a positive. If you're drawn to this, it's a positive reading. So I'm getting that because I'm hearing that this person, they made a lot of positive changes, getting rid of a lot of, because there's somebody at a bar stool right here. So they're getting rid of a lot of negative addictions, a negative behavior. I even hear, like, if they have, like, sort of negative, like eating bad things or watching too much corn or something, they kind of, I'm not judging that, but it's kind of like they're trying to be more healed and happy and together. But this person, they're also trying to level up. Be better with their finances. It's like they're trying to trim up the various areas in their life. And maybe you're doing that as well too. Like trying to exhibit discipline through exercise habits, internet habits, sort of trying to spiritually up level and be better at various aspects of their life. So this person is doing that. But yeah, I somehow got that they had, when I got that gavel, that's what I got, that they had some sort of I don't know, I should say trigger warning for that, but they've had some sort of abusive experiences, like likely growing up, but they're moving beyond sort of the negative effects of that. And doesn't mean that person's a negative person. They could be a very, very positive person. And they're trying to burn something about cleaning up. And so this really vibe gives me the sense of spring cleaning vibe. This person's getting rid of a lot of stuff. They're getting rid of emotional toxicity in order to move forward. They're trying to like they're kind of like, you see that right there, they're kind of moving up the steps to this sort of spiritual ideal that this person had. This person could really have a spiritual ideal. Let's hear something about this person. They may be in a job that they don't like, but it may pay well or something. Like they may be in a job that they don't like, but it's like, I don't know, I keep on hearing like $80,000 or $90,000 a year. Like they may have worked their way up to the point that they're making like, you know, relatively good money, but they kind of want to transition to something else because they feel kind of tied and trapped to the same thing. So they're trying to sort of either move out of this job into something more beneficial to them, even more lucrative in some cases, either more lucrative or more emotionally beneficial to them, or they're trying to see the forest for the trees about what the best decision is moving forward as they sort of clean up various aspects of their life. And they're trying to, it's interesting that I'm hearing this, like I'm hearing this card could have two meanings. They're trying to either be more healthy, like this person's sickly in the hospital, but I'm also hearing that this person is sort of deciding whether they want to visit a very bad family member in their past in the hospital. So this person, they give that kind of vibe, but I'm hearing it's not a negative thing. It's a positive. It's not a bad thing. Like I'm saying something negative about their past, but it's not like they're a positive person with a positive spiritual outlet, or they try to. But I'm hearing it sounds really off the cuff. It's either health, they're trying to improve their health, or and could be an and or they're deciding whether to visit a very negative person who's done negative things to them in the hospital. They're deciding whether they should do that or not, whether they should and it's kind of like it's like a monster that they've dealt with in their past, who's like, and it's not going to apply to everyone, but that it is something that it keeps on coming up with this pile. This person has like a sort of a monster in their past who's scary, and they kind of covered it up with a clown, this monster, but they're trying to decide, should I visit this person in the hospital because their sickness, and they don't want to get into any more. They're trying to make things in their life that should die. They're trying to clean up items in their life, spring cleaning vibes, but they don't want to get into any more dead ends. They're really trying to. They're a little paranoid, and they're kind of paranoid of their own self at times. This person, like they try and like they're kind of a little bit like, oh no, will I do some sort of damage to myself or like something like that, but they're in a positive place too, despite that kind of dark energy. They're in a sort of a positive place despite, and we've got some angel cards. Interesting. Self-respect. This person is trying to up-level in terms of self-respect and self-love, and not have this person, I keep on getting they have sort of a trauma background, and that can be a lack of self, that can lead to that, right? Like kind of, bad eating habits, bad sort of internet habits, but they're trying to have a lack of self-respect. I mean, they're trying to overcome that and not have a lack of self, but trying to overcome that and have an interesting, the cards I got. Prayer will help with this situation. And then I've got the Grace card. Prayer will help with this situation. Interesting. This feels like a very spiritual, up-leveling, positive pile. And then romance angels are helping you. So, like, they feel that romance angels, new beginnings and fresh start. Exactly the vibe that I got from this pile. They're overcoming things. They're up leveling. Yeah, and I'm hearing this person. It's not okay. This is a collective reading, not collective, but pick a pile reading. So I'm not gonna apply for everyone, but this person. They're an overachiever, so they kind of got themselves into a job that was all about money. Like it's like I'm hearing like 80, 90, even up to 120, 140,000. Like even more. I'm hearing it's a kind of a mid to higher paying job, something that goes a little bit higher, but they kind of gotten this to a role, and some are sort of questioning this role. Should I be in this role. Yeah, it's time to leave an unhealthy situation. They're deciding, they're kind of like, should I leave this situation? Should I not? So they're kind of trying to make the best possible decision, but it's kind of like their overachiever nature led them in some cases to this job that may not be, for some it's like an okay job, for some it's a crappy job, but for a lot it's a high paying job that's just okay, and they're wondering, should I just stay in this job? It's mundane. Like some are thinking like, oh, it's kind of mundane, but it's not too bad, so I'll kind of stick in it, stick in it, and stick with it. And they're trying to have they're trying to follow their inner guidance, but they're kind of like, it's like this sticking issue with their job. Like, oh, should I? And they're kind of like, well, maybe I'll just stick with it. It's not too unhealthy. But the point being is that they're trying to up-level their spiritual guidance, and they're trying to be the best that they can be. They're trying to be the best that they can be. And yeah, the hermit, they've kind of gone into hiding, even with people. They're kind of, I'm hearing this person tends to be kind of either a quiet person or a well-liked person, but they've kind of got a hermit-like spiritual vibe that's kind of got them through their life. So interesting. I do like the energy of this person. A very positive, energy, a positive energy, and yes, a very positive energy. And also the 10 of Cups. And okay, no, sorry. I was going to the next. I didn't break. I got to break this next pile. But okay, maybe that card was meant for this pile too. I got the 10 of Cups. It's one of the cards in this second pile. But 10 of Cups. So this person, they're trying to figure out. Okay, what I'm getting at, they're trying to figure out what is illusion, what is not, what is clarity, what is not, and they kind of, their mind can get, particularly with decisions about their work, because it's like there's very positive things to, like the money that they're making, but they're like, they're almost like, am I analyzing too much? Because I kind of enjoy it, but it's kind of mundane. But I don't, some of them don't enjoy it. Some of them it's just mundane, and they just kind of do it. And I think for some of them, they'll discover that it's okay to have a job that's for some it's not toxic. And it's just something, and they're kind of like, should I just keep on going to this job? Should I keep on going to this job that's like, okay, I know the people here. And I think some of them will kind of discover it's kind of okay to do that. That for some will discover that if it's not too toxic, like not everything has to be like, what's the word? Like 100, like not that things should be 100%, but like they don't always, it's okay to be just okay in that area of their life. They're figuring it out. It's okay. It's fine to have a stable aspect of their life that's not very spiritual, but it's not toxic, but it's just stable. But like, if that makes sense, right? Like they're kind of questioning, they're kind of like, I could do this job for 25 years because it's kind of easy to me and it makes me good money, but should I do that? Should I do that? Because it's kind of, they don't want to be stuck. They don't want to be in the pattern of being stuck. But it's kind of like, it's an okay, I don't know, that's just what I'm picking up for this. It's an interesting pile, but like, I think you get the idea. But they're kind of wondering, is this illusion, is this not? They have something about things being illusions or not, and when is something truly happy, and when is something truly all right. And that relates to their job for something. That kind of relates to something about their job. When is something truly happy? When is something all right and is just fine all right? I hope I conveyed that all right in an all right manner. That's pile number 1. Interesting. I think that feels complete to me, pile number 1. Now let's go to pile number 2. The next positive person in your date. Let me just check. I always just like to check to make sure the camera's. Let me see. Yeah, it is. We're at the 14-minute mark. So, let us see. Pile number 2. So this is a really interesting. So I like it. It's kind of jagged and let's see, what do we got though? We got 10 of Cups. We've got the Star. I'll cover that with this. Get that stone out of the way. And then the 9 of Swords. Interesting. 9 of Swords, 10 of Cups. Interesting. So let me get a drink of water, and then I'm going to figure out what exactly is this person like? What is the themes that are going on in their life? The person you're asking about is trustworthy. Interesting. An interesting card to get. The person you're asking about is trustworthy. Is it, do they have trust issues? Do you? What? I'm hearing that this person, they may have figured out that somebody in their life was not trustworthy. Like, I'm hearing that they figured out that somebody was a chatty Cathy or something, and they would share people's information. It's like something, I don't know, it's kind of an aside, but let's see what this person's like. Like that may be a really, okay, so this person you're asking about, I'm hearing that this person is a trustworthy person. And like everyone has aspects of their character that's a little bit untrustworthy, but it's kind of a percentage thing. This person feels 98% trustworthy because everyone has like, for example, like no one's 100% good all the time, right? Like no one, we all have our different, but I'm hearing that this person's they're very true blue, trustworthy. And I'm hearing this person that even though you may have dated treacherous people or had treacherous people in your life, I'm hearing that you should not hesitate to trust this person. This is you may feel hesitant, and I'm hearing why you may. Okay, interesting. This is what I'm hearing about this person, is that you shouldn't hesitate to trust this person. This is a very trustworthy person. But you may not trust this person because this person may have sort of chip on their shoulder vibes. And sometimes when people have chip on, or you may not, may not be obvious, but you may be able to, it's not like they exude that energy, but it's kind of like they have a slight energy like this, but they're not. And when people have those energies that you kind of sense, maybe they're not trustworthy, because you can kind of sense that kind of chip on their shoulder vibe. But I'm hearing this person, you should not hesitate to trust this person, despite the fact that you may feel like, should I trust a stranger? And I'm hearing that this will be a new level of trust for you, where and it's an interesting thing that it's coming to my mind right now, because the whole thing, they say, you takes a while to learn how you can trust someone or not. You don't know somebody, what they're really like, for a long time. And I'm hearing that actually it should be the opposite, where people should know right away whether they can trust people. Like it should actually be the right away within 5 to 8 minutes of talking to somebody. People say that, but it's actually a sort of twisted psychological mechanism of this matrix. It's very backwards, where people think that you should not really trust, because what happens is okay, we meet people and then we figure out, okay, like they're really like this. Like for example, it's popping into my head, like the woman on Oprah. I don't know. I just, things are popping into my head, right? But like that she married somebody who was so nice. He was so he was the best husband and everything, and he treated everyone so well. But then he was he had he was having unaliving, I'm gonna keep this YouTube friendly, like all these men or something in his backyard and doing all these things. So he had a double life. But I'm hearing for that is that, so people would say to that, they say, well, it takes a while and I trust, look at this, it's taken out, this person seems so nice. But I'm hearing, did you really not know have a feeling? Like it's like you should actually be able to figure out whether someone's trustworthy, not in the first 8 or 18 or 80 years, but actually I'm hearing the first 8 minutes, you should know whether someone is trustworthy, and be able to actually know a snapshot of their character. And this idea that people, that you don't know things about people, is part of sort of the Illuminati sort of programming meant to undercut people's trust within themselves. Interesting. This is taking a different turn, this reading. It's like a the next positive person in your date reading, and it's turning into something else. So I'm hearing it's part of the whole self-defeating mechanisms that they put on us is the fact that you can't know if someone's trustworthy when you can't. I'm hearing the first 8 minutes or the first hour in some cases, the first hour and a half. Yeah, you should be able to know whether someone's trustworthy because you know, because it's like they're trying to make us feel that we don't know things when the reality is we should actually know. That's one thing that we should easily know. Humans should know. It is to be able to see behind facades. Just that, anyway, but that's just an aside that I went on this reading that seemed important, but interesting. But yeah, back to it. This person feels very trustworthy, but they may have a chip on their shoulder because they've had somebody who is really something very untrustworthy, and it could be something. It's a funny thing because I've got humiliate and share. It's almost like this person was a gossip, like an awful gossip, or something really offensive to this person, or it's either this person was an awful gossip, or they found out someone who they trusted or admired had a really dark side, or a really like nauseating, like this person would describe it as kind of a nauseating side to them. At home, it really cut them home, or it could have been in their family, but it really cut this person to their quick, because it was like this person tried to hide it, because this person, what really got to this person is this person tried to hide their true nature. So let's see, what else can I get? So the big spiel about trustworthiness in people, but now let's see what else about this person. Let's see the other information that can come up besides that tangent that I went on, which was probably important, or I wouldn't have said it. But this person, they interesting. I got a negative. It's kind of a negative or a positive. This person has a very strong, almost imagination, a strong spiritual side, and they can kind of get lost in their own thoughts. Like they can be, they feel like they basically they get lost in their own thoughts, and they're a little bit, I'm hearing a little bit prickly Pete. I don't know if that's a word, I don't know if that's just saying or something, but they're a little bit prickly. Something about, I don't know, it like something about hugging or something. Like they don't like to hug just anybody. This person, they feel like they're very conscious of energy and what people are truly like. They're kind of a connoisseur of people energy and what they're really like, what they're really up to. And they don't like, and that, yeah, something about this person really stabbed them. And they feel and they've always been a connoisseur of people's energy. And they basically, I don't know, I'm hearing something else. They like to be in charge. They like to be in charge of everything. And they don't like people to take control of their life. That's a big thing of them. They really don't like people to be in control. It's almost an Achilles heel for them. They really don't like that. They could be self-employed or they could be either self-employed, wanting to be self-employed, or on the way to being self-employed. So this feels like a go-getter. This feels like a motivated person. They kind of I'm hearing they're overly imaginative, almost a little bit paranoid too. That's kind of a negative side, but it's not. It's kind of connected to a positive side. Like they have a positive side, like very imaginative, very go-getting. They could be an INTJ or INFJ personality type if you're familiar with the Myers-Briggs system, or even an ENTJ in some cases. An ENTJ, an INTJ, or an INFJ personality, but they're really like, they don't like to be boxed in. They don't like to be controlled. I'm hearing they'll leave the place if the manager is too toxic. If the manager, they really don't like toxic BS or managers, so they may have recently become self-employed or even unemployed on the way to being self-employed, but they are a go-getter, but they get really stuck in their imagination. They like to control things, but not in a toxic way. They're not a like it's not in a quote unquote abusive way. It's not like that. It's not like that kind of control freak. It's a positive. It's like they're always trying to head things in the right direction and avoid negativity, but they can kind of get stuck in their imagination and distrust for authority. I'm hearing that for that. Like they're not somebody who trusts authority at all, is what I'm hearing. They could be a Syrian starseed. They could even be, in some cases, they could actually be into divination. I see with those cards right there, they could be into divination. I'm hearing for some, like 30% could heavily be into divination. Some could be mildly interested. But I'm hearing 30% could be heavily into divination, but they're into personal power, and working for somebody else does not really work with them in that way. Like, it does not work with them in that way. They're very, what's the word? What's some words that describe them? Gratitude list. Interesting. So they like to organize things emotionally. They like to organize emotions. That's an interesting thing to say. Let's see what else. Positivity, faith, and optimism. Oh, interesting. Gratitude list, positively, optimism, and faith. So they tend to be a positive person, or they become a more positive person over time. Release resentments over money. They're trying to release interesting resentments. There's a lot of spiritual, psychological stuff going on with this person. Like release money, resentment. So they're trying to release resentments. This person may have a problem with like forgiveness, like especially with authority figures. They don't like authority figures. Successful funding. So I'm hearing for some, they may have had success, like someone may have given them a windfall, or they may have come into a windfall which has helped them leave a bad job situation or something. Like they may have words of like abundance. They may have like helped them, but like leave a negative situation. And yeah, they basically, this feels like a good spiritual go-getting person with a bit of a out of control imagination. That's what I get with this person. All right, pile number 3. Let's see. Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords. Interesting. The Hierophant, and 5 of Cups. So this person is, I'm hearing Leo energy with the Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords, Leo energy. This person is very very powerful and very almost king-like. They're very like powerful and king-like. Interesting thing to come to mind. But hope. And very optimistic too. They've got that magnanimous man as men. So it seems like this is a man. Could be a woman, but that's what comes up as a man. And they're very hopeful about the future. I'm hearing this person doesn't do shame. They have a very clear, positive energy field that takes no prisoners and moves forward. Shame, dislike. I said they dislike shame. They dislike the energy of like they kind of very much dislike lower energy energy fields. And I got rot. I hear they dislike lower energy fields, and then I heard rot. So they're somebody who shoots for the stars, and they don't really like that dark aspect of society, like that's really dark. Like they really try and focus on positivity. Interesting. Yeah, they don't like that ugly. They don't like the ugly side of society. They really like to be positive and focus on, like, that's what I get, positivity. So they're kind of a go-getter but moves forward with positivity to their goals, and they like to be in charge of their life. Like they like to be, maybe in some cases they want to be in charge of other people, but it's kind of in this positive, upward moving, optimistic, charming, optimistic way. They may even be an actor. Which is, I mean, that would make sense if they're that would need to have that positivity, because there's constantly, it's almost like they need to have this positivity because of attacks that have come their way, or kind of attacks that they feel from society, or like overall, not personally to them, probably not, but it's kind of like they need to be positive, like, yeah, because of attack and threat and anger. So it's kind of like they need to, maybe they've needed to basically what's the word, outrun sort of attacking people or unsafe people. So they just have this powerful vibe that tries to create this energy field of positivity that moves forward. So what is their career? Like, that seems to pop up. Not that that's always important, but what is their career? Maybe maybe a motivational coach or something in which they need to really be motivated and move forward with. Like something maybe challenging, where they need to be a self-starter and be powerful and optimistic. Something where they need to be powerful and optimistic and sort of control their energy, control themselves. Maybe even a paramedic in some cases. That's very small. I'm hearing that's a very small. It's not the large. It's more like an actor energy, or it's like a very small kind of energy of helping people and being optimistic because it's constantly being under attack type thing. Like, it's kind of like they're in a challenging field where they it's like, seems to be their energy of like fending off threats of negativity and shining regardless. Like and that would make sense in like being a paramedic, because there's constant like, you know, whatever, like it's a kind of a downer job. But then also an actor, because you get lots of rejections, but it's like something that they move forward with it, and they just really this person likes to spend time on their beach, or they want to retire in like a Florida beach retirement community. They like the ocean and they like the beach. Interesting. They like that sunshiny way. They also like Britain. That's what I hear from that. They like Britain. Or some optimistic, if there is some optimistic energy of learning there, or in Europe, like some sort of optimistic learning energy. Let's see, what else? This person, sometimes they don't yield to sort of, to roadblocks. They don't yield to roadblocks. They just keep on going. They keep on going. They're powerful. It's almost like a bit of a defense mechanism too. Not saying that's not a bad way to be. I'm not saying it's not a bad way to be, or not a good way to be, or that it is a bad way to be. I'm not saying that, but it's kind of like a little bit of like, just, I'm marching on and no one can do anything about it. And yeah, the Four of Pentacles, he's holding things to his chest. I'm marching on. So a little bit of a stubborn determination, a little bit of that energy, but it's like, yeah, the King of Swords, and I'm kind of got the same energy, like a little bit of that stubborn determination, but it kind of, sometimes, I'm hearing it, sometimes it serves them well, sometimes it doesn't. It's like they keep on, but it's sort of like, maybe they're outrunning something with the Six of Cups. Maybe that's what it is, but it's kind of like they just move forward. And, yeah. They kind of, move forward, like almost like a stubborn, we've got a mule right there, moving forward, like almost like a stubborn mule. Writing down their goals, cutting away things that they don't want, and not ignoring the sharp in the water, and basically setting seeds for the future, moving forward. That's the energy that I get. Yeah, that's what they're very much, what they're like. And decide to be happy now. This person, they're very much about self-responsibility, yeah, self-responsibility and go-getting and sort of kind of moving forward at all costs, deciding to be happy. This person, they really like power and self-responsibility, self-help. They may even be like a life coach or something, or a counselor or something like that. They like to move forward with power at all costs, and basically with any and all responsibility, right? They like to just move forward, move forward, move forward, move forward, move forward. Okay. And they won't they won't they won't stop. They won't they just keep moving, they keep moving, and they keep moving, and they keep moving. And they seem to just go and go and go and go, and they may have a lot of like sort of accomplishments because of that, or they're either working towards that. So they've got a powerful energy. So this will be a powerful like provider type thing, but also just a powerful energy field. More than that, like just a powerful energy field that it almost will inspire you to sort of up level too, if that makes sense. It's sort of a very powerful, and maybe one more card. Let's see. Cooperate. Oops, drop that. Let me grab this. Cooperation instead of competition. It is safe for you to receive, and obstacles and blocks are lifted. So this person powers through obstacles, and it's almost it comes from a place of they don't feel safe in the world, and kind of having this powerful persona sort of protects them from this world by moving forward. It kind of protects them and moving forward, and keeps them like moving forward. But it may be a little bit unhealthy in certain respects, but we all have our unhealth. So yes, it feels really expansive and powerful and moving forward, kind of like a powerful fire sign energy. But not necessarily they are a fire sign, but it just feels like a very, very positive energy. So yeah, this was all three piles felt good to me. They all felt very very expansive and good. All right, have a great day.